Welcome to DejaDream.com. Biblical meaning of birds in dreams. Birds are familiar creatures. Nobody is surprised to see them anymore, unless if you spotted a rare breed. But overall, these birds are not treated as special as other beings in the wild. However, one should know that there is a biblical meaning of birds. In the realms of Christianity, the bird is treated with significant symbolism. If you know them, you might change your view about these creatures in the sky. Let's explore how the Bible provided clear depictions about the existence and value of birds. Biblical meaning of birds in dreams. Birds are the most prevalent aerial creatures. They utilize their wings and the unique aerodynamics of their bodies to glide the skies. They are the only known dwellers of the sky, which somehow relates to the spiritual world. The upper realms are directly linked to the world that is not ours anymore. In short, it implies that it is the place where our physical bodies cannot reach. Our senses cannot comprehend it either. You can say that it is the space or dimension your guardian angels reside in. Since the birds are the residents of the skies, then it is pretty clear that they are closer to the higher realms than us. You can say that they have a strong link to the spiritual realm. Of course, the bird has been used in the Bible for different means. God, specifically, has made symbols out of the bird. The Great Flood. For instance, in the book of Genesis, it has been emphasized that the dove became the symbol of peace and atonement of God to the sins of this world. The story of the Great Flood in Genesis chapter 6 verse 9-17 narrated how Moses and his family built a massive ark to contain all a pair of every creature of this world to save them from the calamity that God will bring upon. In Genesis chapter 8 verse 11, Noah released a dove after the flood to search for land. He did it to see if there's land already where they can anchor their ark. The verse said, "And the dove came into him at eventide, and, lo, in her mouth an olive leaf plucked off, so Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth." The bird as a messenger. In this particular setting in the Bible, the dove has been used in various symbols. First, it was used as a messenger. Noah sent the dove to see if it is safe to dock their boat already. He instructed the bird to send a message to him. Furthermore, it was evident in this context that the bird is obedient to the will of man. It gives us an idea that we have the bird is also connected to the spiritual realm, as everything that is happening here is under the sovereignty of God. The bird is a bringer of renewal. We can also see here that the dove in the Bible is a symbol of peace. God flooded the world to eradicate the sin that consumed it. Of course, that's a sign of his anger to those who violated his will. Noah, together with his family, was spared because he remained righteous. Keep in mind that God resents sin. Therefore, he always warns us that there are negative repercussions to those who do not conform to his ways. When the dove was released in the ark and returned with a twig of olive on its beak, it is a sign that God has renewed all creations. He restored the peaceful and the blemish-free world. The dove also reminded Noah that humans have the opportunity to start again. Dove represents spiritual and moral rejuvenation, and that's one of the wonderful aspects of this bird. The baptism of Christ. Again, birds have been one of the notable features in one of the important events in the Bible. In this part, the dove made its presence when John the Baptist baptized Christ. Of course, that's not a mere coincidence, as it was perfectly described in the Bible. In here, we can also see that dove has a divine attribute. It is always linked to occurrences that are on a heavenly scale. There are numerous verses that mention the dove in the New Testament. Here are they. "And Jesus when he was baptized, went up straightway from the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending as a dove, and coming upon him." Matthew chapter 3 verse 16, "And the Holy Spirit descended on him in bodily form like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, You are my Son, whom I love, with you I am well pleased." Luke chapter 3 verse 22, "And straightway coming up out of the water, he saw the heavens opened, and the Spirit like a dove descending upon him." Mark chapter 1 verse 10, "And John bare record, saying, I saw the Spirit descending from heaven like a dove, and it abode upon him." John chapter 1 verse 32. In all of these verses, it has been indicated that the dove symbolizes the Holy Spirit. The verses cemented the statement I made earlier that indicate the divine attributes of the dove. Biblically speaking, we can say that the dove is one of the most majestic birds that God has ever created. Some evil connotations of birds in the Bible. Not all birds are described favorably in the Bible. There are various imageries that depicted birds as evil or representatives of evil. For instance, between the verses of Genesis chapter 8 verses 6 to 7 and Genesis chapter 8 verses 9 to 11, it was stated that Noah sent a raven before the dove to inspect the surroundings. The raven did not return, which caused Noah to send the dove instead. Here, we can see that the raven symbolizes concepts of laziness and disobedience. Noah expected the raven to return to the ark, but it didn't. If taken into the human context, what the raven did is a form of rebellion. Biblical meaning of birds in dreams. Parrot. The parrot has not been mentioned in the Bible. However, if we are going to reflect its characteristics to the aspects of morality, we can say that the bird is not that ideal. Specifically, the parrot is a symbol of the unwanted trait of some people to gossip. When you dream of two parrots talking, it means that there are people who are backbiting you. It could be a sign of betrayal, too. Conclusion. In all of these cases, it is pretty clear that birds are prominent figures in the Bible. They were present in various biblical events and were even used to symbolize several aspects of humans. One way or another, it is proven that birds are not ordinary entities, especially in the realm of Christianity. That's it for now. If you have questions about animals and their symbolism, feel free to drop them in the comment section below.